Okay, this is a follow-up to yesterday's video about the sound for the dance. Just a really quick one, it's not complicated, this riff, it's really easy. There's just something you have to do to sort of get it right, but as I was saying, it's more about the actual sound itself and letting it do the work really than actually playing anything. But the main thing you've got to do is basically the first two notes. So I don't know if you can see. So obviously the opening note is just the open A string. So that's the first thing you're going to play, and you need to hit that hard, but we'll get to that in a second. So you got the open A string, and then the next note is there, and it's a hammer on. So you don't actually play the third note. You've got the opening note on the open A, then that hammer on, and it's sort of that hammer on that gives it the accent really. So basically you've got. So that's the start, which is the only bit you need to get right really. I didn't know if people would sort of get that hammer on. It's not hard to do, it's just something you have to be aware of to get the rhythm right really. So obviously the first bit, and then it's just that open A string again, and then here, open A string, another open A string, then hammer on, and then very basic open E minor chord. So let's see, so let's just play it again. So I think one thing to say is don't rush through the riff. It almost needs to be quite lazy. It never has to be really totally locked in and precise. That obviously comes once the drums start really. That's when it becomes much easier because you're playing alongside the drummer obviously, whereas when you're just doing it on your own. But yeah, the main thing is the open A string. That's always your first note before you do anything pretty much, other than obviously until you go to that E. That hammer on, that nice hammer on when you've got enough resonance to voice the note properly with the hammer on. Up there. See, it's really easy. So let's play it again. I realise now actually there's probably a little bit too much drive on this sound. It's probably a little bit too distorted. But that's something to say as well, is obviously with this guitar I've got this pickup selected. So for me anyway, it's always best to attack the string right over the pickup without obviously hitting the pickup, because you will hear it because it's effectively a microphone. So you will hear it if you hit the pickup. But you know, if you really dig into that A and then the D, like sort of. So yeah, that slow sort of progression across that chord, that's quite important to get it sounding right. And then pick back down it. So I mean, without the effects on, I don't know if you can hear the guitar acoustically, but it's a really simple riff. So that's as simple as that is really. It's not particularly hard to learn. All I'd say is that hammer on with that A as the first note. Did notice on a couple of when people have tried to play things of mine, a lot of the time they're missing off the extra bass notes that I'm putting in that are actually sort of almost a scaffolding for the riff, if you will. Because if you don't bring that bass note out first, you'll sort of get the rhythms wrong and all sorts of other stuff. So is there anything else I can say about that? As I say, play over the pickup and a lot of string attack, do you know what I mean? I don't know if you can see, but the plectrums I use, they're thick, really thick. So I mean, I have snap strings just from hitting them, especially with sort of how hard these plectrums are. But yeah, really dig into the notes. I mean, when you're coming back across the E, you don't have to dig in as much, but certainly the opening. So I hope that makes sense. I'll do another video for the sound in the second half, and then sort of a playing video as well, although the playing video for that will be a little bit more difficult. Although it's not, you just got to be fast up and down really. There's a couple of other riffs in it as well, which are interesting if you want to try those, but as I say, I'll do a video for that now. So yeah, hope that's helped with this riff.